All right, we started on this worksheet yesterday and we are finishing it today. We're doing 19 through 43, so we're going to work on starting number 19. If you didn't do yesterday's work, you'll need to go back and watch the other video. So Marla has 8 cubic feet of potting soil and 3 flower pots. She wants to put the same amount of soil in each pot. How many cubic feet of soil will she put in each pot? So we're taking the potting soil and we're splitting it in the same amounts to put into 3 pots. So that's division. 8 divided by 3, which is 2 remainder 2, so that is 2 2/3 cubic feet will be in each pot. Kiesha spent 3 1/3 hours at the Science Museum. She spent 2/5 of that time in the planetarium. How much time did she spend in the planetarium? Of means multiply. 3 1/3 times 2/5. So we're going to get mad with our 3 1/3. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 more is 10 halves. 2/5 just stays 2/5. And then we multiply straight across. 10 times 2 is 20. 2 times 5 is 10. And 20 divided by 10 is 2. So she spent 2 hours in the planetarium. Bianca has 3/4 pound of tuna salad. She uses 1/3 of the tuna salad to make sandwiches. That means multiply. 3/4 times 1/3. We go straight across and get 3/12. But that does simplify if we divide them both by 3/3 to 1/4. James lives 4/5 miles from the library. He has already walked 3/4 of the way. How far has he walked? Of means multiply. 4/5 times 3/4. We go straight across for 12/20. But those can be simplified. Divide them both by 4 and we get 3/5. So he has walked 3/5 of a mile so far. Ed has 2 dogs. The smaller dog weighs 8 1/3 pounds. The larger dog weighs 1.5 times as much as the smaller dog. How much does the larger dog weigh? So times means multiply. 8 1/3 times 1 1/2. We have to get mad with both. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 more is 25/3. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more is 3 halves. 25 times 3, if you know quarters, that's 75. 3/4 is 75 cents. 3 times 2 is 6. And that is an improper fraction. So we have to divide 75 divided by 6. 75 divided by 6. That's 1 time. 6 goes in there 2 times. Remainder 3. So that is 12 3/6. But 3/6 can be simplified to 1/2. So I'm going to draw an arrow up here and put 12 1/2 because I didn't have enough room. Greg made 27 ounces of potato salad to serve to 10 guests at the picnic. If each serving is the same size, how much potato salad would each guest receive? So same size. He's sharing the 27 ounces of potato salad with 10 guests, and they're all getting the same size or an equal share. So this is division. Are we splitting up the potato salad or splitting up the guests? Hopefully you're splitting the potato salad. So that would be 27 divided by 10, which is 2 remainder 7. So that is 2 7/10, and that cannot be simplified. We are moving on to the back. On the back, it tells you to write less than, equal to, or greater than for each statement. So we want to know if this answer is less than, greater than, or equal to 4/5. So I'm not going to look at 4/5. 4/5 is what I'm comparing it to. I want to look at the other fraction. That's my scaling factor, 1/2. 1/2 is less than 1, so this answer is going to be less than 4/5. 3/4 times 3/4 is blank 3/4. I'm sorry, 3/3 times 3/4 is blank 3/4. I'm comparing it to 3/4. I'm going to look at the other factor. That's my scaling factor. That factor is equal to 1, so it's going to be equal to 3/4. 2/5 times 5/9, I'm comparing it to 5/9. So I want to look at my other factor. 2/5 is less than 1, so it's going to be less than 5/9. So I want you to pause the video and work out these 6 on your own, trying to see if they are greater, less, or equal to. All right, you should have already worked those out. Remember, you're not looking at what's in the box. What's in the box does not tell you the answer. What's in the box is what you're comparing it to. The scaling factor is the other factor. 2 seconds is equal to 1, so it's going to be equal to 4/5. 5/3 is greater than 1, so it's going to be greater than 3/4. 8/5 is greater than 1, so it's going to be greater than 5/9. 3/2 is greater than 1, so it's going to be greater than 4/5. 2/3 is less than 1, so it's going to be less than 3/4. 5/5 is equal to 1, so it's going to be equal to 5/9. That is scaling fractions. You don't actually have to work them out. You just look at the scaling factor to determine if it's greater, less, or equal to. 34 through 38, it says Diane has 1/2 gallon of frozen yogurt and some bowls. She puts an equal amount of frozen yogurt into each bowl. For each given number of bowls, how much frozen yogurt will she put in each bowl? So she's doing equal amounts. That lets me know it's going to be a division problem. So are we splitting up the bowls and sharing it with some yogurt? Or are we taking some yogurt and sharing it with the bowls? Hopefully you're going to take the yogurt and split it into the bowls. So 1/2 gallon of yogurt is what comes first. We're going to do 1/2 divided by 2, 1/2 divided by 3, 1/2 divided by 4, 1/2 divided by 5, and 1/2 divided by 6. And yes, you need to write down all of those problems. I start with a fraction, so all of my answers should be fractions. And I'm going to multiply my denominator and my whole number. 2 times 2 is 4, must write it as a fraction, 1/4. 2 times 3 is 6, must write it as a fraction, 1/6. 2 times 4 is 8, must write it as a fraction, 1/8. 2 times 5 is 10, must write it as a fraction, 1/10. 2 times 6 is 12, must write it as a fraction, 1/12. The last few problems, very similar to what we just did. Eric has 4 pounds of blueberries to make into pies. How many pies can Eric make if each pie needs the given amount of blueberries? So we're taking blueberries and we're making pies with it. So this is division. So we're splitting. Are we going to split up the blueberries and make pies, or are we going to split up the pies and make blueberries? Hopefully you're going to split up the blueberries and make pies. So we're starting with the blueberries that we have. We have 4 pounds of blueberries, and we could put 1/2 pound in each pie. So that would be 4 divided by 1/2. Or we could take our 4 pounds of blueberries and put 1/3 pound in each pie. Or we could take our 4 pounds and put 1/4 pound in each pie. Or we could take our 4 pounds and put 1/5 pound in each pie. Or we could take our 4 pounds and put 1/6 pound in each pie. So all of my problems start with whole numbers. All of my answers should be whole numbers. We're going to multiply our whole number times our denominator. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 6 is 24. So if I used 1/2 pound, I could make 8 pies. If I used 1/3 pound, I could make 12 pies. If I used 1/4 pound, I could make 16 pies. Notice the smaller pounds you use, the more pies you can make. This is dividing fractions by, or whole numbers by fractions and fractions by whole numbers. You have to make sure that you pick the right number first in order to get the answer correct. You will have a test on these skills that this sheet covered on Monday when you come in. If you have questions, you don't understand something, please email me.